Jim Carlson, the word without a voice. The word without a voice, Jim Carlson.
Toastmasters, friends, I have a story to share with you today. Sadly, this is a true story, but this is a story about a word. It's a simple word, a short word. It's a word that crosses all kinds of boundaries and divides. The educated use this word, as well as the uneducated. The rich use this word, as well as the poor. If a child were to use this word, no one would be shocked or surprised. If a politician were to use this word, there would be no one upset on either side of the aisle. In fact, this is even a fairly universal word. You could use this word when speaking to someone in a different language, and the meaning would be understood. And many languages have a comparable word in their language. Now, unfortunately, there is an organization that exists that has it out for this little word. Now, I'm not going to name the organization, so let's just call it the Empire. And for whatever reason, the Empire despises this little word. And they have set about creating a campaign of systematic elimination. And through ruthless fanaticism and relentless brainwashing, they have spread their campaign all across the world. Hundreds of countries. In fact, so effective has their campaign been, I do not doubt that many of you in this very room have been influenced. The Empire has tried to convince you that this word is evil, that this word is unprofessional, that this word doesn't even deserve to exist. Well, friends, I stand before you today in defense of this little word, this word without a voice. I, James Nicholas Carlson, am for the word Oh, you may laugh, you may mock, but I ask, what has ever done to you? Now, perhaps you laugh because you don't believe there is actually an empire out there that has it out for this little word. Well, I happen to have acquired some propaganda that was published by the Empire that I would like to share with you today. Now, I'm going to read their words for you just to give you an idea. And what I think is so interesting is the Empire starts their article by admitting that is a useful word. Now, like I said, I'm not going to name the Empire, but I must read their words for you. Today, most researchers agree that disfluencies, ahs and ums, aren't just fillers. Instead, these expressions communicate meaningful information. For example, we use and ah to hold on to the conversational floor as we are planning what to say next. So they admit in their own propaganda that is a useful word. But what do they propose as a solution? Again, these are their words, not mine. Most experts suggest a seemingly simple solution. Replace verbalized pauses with silence, with nothing. How about we just get rid of one of you? Replace you with nothing. How would you like it? What I really find shocking about their suggestion here is that apparently, I've heard, in their so-called meetings, they actually assign a person to count the use of the word and make you feel ashamed for using it. Now, what if we were to change that situation just slightly, and let's say instead of an ah counter, there was a herald counter. The herald counter would get up at the end of the meeting. Well, we had a really good meeting. Fortunately, we had at least one herald. So we've got a little bit of room for improvement. Now, perhaps you don't believe that is actually that great of a word. So let's maybe just take a step back and consider just a couple of cinematic moments that I think could have been greatly improved with a little bit of dramatic How about Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back? Darth Vader is revealing his startling news to Luke. No, I am your father. Or how about Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring? Gandalf is standing on the bridge at Khazad-dûm, standing before the mighty Balrog. You shall not pass! And he strikes the ground and it crumbles. Or maybe something a little bit lighter. How about The Sound of Music? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, Now, if that doesn't convince you that is a great word, frankly, my dear, I don't give an So, how do we fight the empire and this insidious campaign of theirs? I propose 2 simple suggestions. First, we fight from the inside. We infiltrate the empire and their ranks. If each and every one of us gives a speech on the word we will so confound the counters. What was that used intentionally, demonstratively? Or did he use that as a crutch word that I should count? We will so overwhelm the counters, people will refuse to fill that role any longer, and the empire will be forced to abandon their campaign. The second solution I propose is we create a new holiday, one in which we celebrate and our dependence on it. We could call it Dependence Day. So I want to invite you today, if you have ever used the word I want to invite you to stand with me today and celebrate your dependence. Stand with me today if you have ever used the word Because we know will not go quietly into the night. Will not vanish without a fight. Is going to live on. Is going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Dependence Day. You may sit down now. Back to you, Toastmaster.